All right, welcome back everyone to the Tableau 2020 from scratch tutorial. So we were in the creating graph section. We were talking about the tree maps and how you can build tree maps, how tree maps are useful in a lot of advanced analytics, like consuming a lot of fields together. Usually in multivariate analysis, tree maps are really helpful because it helps in digesting a lot of fields, like especially when it comes to sales dashboards. When you want to understand about sales, profit margins, the number of quantities sold, and all of that, right? So that was just basic introduction to how you can build tree maps. Some basic customizations which you can do to tree maps, so on and so forth. Now, another graph which I wanted to introduce this today was the scatter plots, or is the scatter plots, right? So scatter plots again are a really advanced visualization like tree maps, right? So they give out a lot of information. It's also a analytics kind of graph which gives you a lot of information, right? So let's say I'm a company and I want to understand, okay, now these are my sales quantities and these are my profit percentages, right? How do I understand both of these together, right? So which products do I target based on my sales quantity and the profit margin which I'm generating, right? So what is that perfect the perfect point which I have to focus on to figure, or the perfect product which I have to focus on, which is giving me the highest profit margin with the appropriate amount sold, so that I don't have to stock up on my inventory all the time, right? So let's try and analyze that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leverage scatter plots to do a simple sales quantity, right? Which is going to be, I'm gonna use the number of records. I think that's a better. I think there's this quantity option over here, dilute. So I'm gonna use that, okay? And I'm going to use profit, right? So basically you have profit on the x-axis, quantity on the y-axis, right? And you see one point over here, which does not mean anything. Now, what I want to understand is among my different categories, right? Which category is giving me the best profit margin, with respect to the quantity sold? So let's do that. So if I'm gonna look at category, what I have to do is now each of these points should be one category, right? So basically this is one overall number which I'm getting here, which is not what I want. I want the category wise division. So what I would do is I will drag category into detail. Now what happens, right? Now the moment I added category into details, what happened is that I got the three categories which I wanted: furniture, technology, and then office supplies, right? So these three categories which I was looking at, I got them here. So, and if I want to color them accordingly, I can just drag it over to color and I got them colored accordingly, right? Now, if I want different shapes for it, I can drag it to again to shapes, right? So it's giving me all that information. Now, if I hover over, now let's see, let's try and digest what is happening here, right? So I see there's one like, square over here, which is office supplies, which is selling a lot, right? So in terms of quantity sold, it's around 22,000. But when it comes to profit, it's doing pretty good. There's around 120 k profit which I generated from selling office supplies. But going down, if you look at technology, I'm selling very less amount of technology products, but the profit which I'm generating is really high. It's actually more than what I'm generating for office supplies, right? Now, let's say I'll get to understand this information better once I add the subcategory details over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the coloring according to subcategory, right? Now let's see what just happened. I'm gonna change, yeah, I think, yeah, this should be fine. Yeah. So let's see what happened, right? So I want to figure out what products are, giving me the best profit, right, in terms of the amount sold. So there are a couple of products, especially this one, copiers, right? Which the quantity sold is very less, but the profit which I generated was extremely high. There's a couple of other products like phones, quantity sold is less, but then I'm making a lot of profits. Accessories, technology accessories like headset and all of that, which is giving me a lot of profit as well. Now, if you look at the top half, you have paper, which is again an office supplies, and then you have binders, which is again office supplies. It's selling a lot more, but in terms of profit, it's giving me a profit, but I have to keep a lot of inventory to sell all these stuff, right? So it's selling a lot, and the profit margin is pretty good. So, strategically, if I was a business, like what products should I focus on, right? So basically, I want to focus on products which are selling and giving me the best, margin as well, right? So it's the demand is high, which means that it's getting sold, and also I'm generating maximum profit from that. So if you look at copiers, the demand is not that high, but the profit which I'm making is huge. But it doesn't make much sense to invest on this. But if I invest in these, items over here, where the demand is high and the profit margin also is like really high, right? So if I look at the median profit, so let's say if I want to add a median line over here. So what I will do is I will go to profit, right click, right, add reference line, and it's showing average. I'll just go take it, make it, median, and I'll just click OK. Now this is the median line, right? So the median profit is around $13,000. So that's how you do it. You can again add a median line to your quantity as well. Again, right click on the axis, add reference line, change it to median. Yeah. So, anything which goes beyond this particular circle, this particular quadrant, I would target these products, right? So we have products like storage comes under office supplies, chairs, where the demand is high. I'm selling a lot and the profit margin is also high. So this is the perfect products which I need to concentrate on as a business, which is high in demand and is also giving me a lot of profit. Right, so that's how scatter plots can give out a lot of information for businesses to take action on. Right, so this is a prime example of how you can use scatter plots. Right, so now I can, if I hover over it, I'm getting information on profit, quantity, and all of that. If I want to add sales, what I do is I'll drag sales into the tooltip, and that should give me sales as well. All right, so this is how you can play around with scatter plots. Scatter plots gives out a lot of information. And if you want to edit these reference lines, what I'll do is I can go to format, I can change the line to dashed lines, I can change the color, I can do any kind of editing on the reference lines as well. So this is how Tableau can help businesses in taking the right action, right? So this is telling me, okay, what are the different products which you need to focus on to drive more business, right? So this is exactly how Tableau will help you. So, yep, I think that was it. Thanks a lot for joining, and I'll see you in the next class. So, bye bye.